So I'm pretty surprised that this Canon 200D, which is an entry-level budget camera from Canon, which was released something in about 2017 or 2018, this camera seems to be one of the most requested setups for the DJI Ronin SC and the Zhiyun Weebill-S. So just really surprised that a lot of you guys are actually using this Canon 200D or the Canon SL2, or some of you guys have the Canon 250D or the Canon SL3, which are pretty similar. The SL3 I believe was launched this year, but pretty much same as the Canon 200D or the SL2. So this video today I'll be doing a setup tutorial on the Canon 200D on the Zhiyun Weebill-S, and the Canon 200D is not on the camera compatibility list. So will it work? Let's find out in this video. Okay, so firstly, get out your Canon 200D. Like I said, I'm using the 18 to 55mm f3.5 to 5.6 kit lens. Take off the lens cap and throw on your ND filter or a shotgun mic if you want. And we're gonna firstly throw on the camera riser. This is not a really big lens, so you don't really have to use a camera riser if you don't want to. But I'm just gonna show you with the camera riser anyway. Just use your finger, screw it in around there, and then just make a rough measurement around there. So that should support the lens. If you are going to actually turn the thread on this zoom lens, then I guess you can put it further back and get your lens support underneath this portion here, rather than putting your lens support on the thread itself. So let's try it out by putting it on the plastic here instead of the lens support. So I'm gonna just push this backwards and just make a quick measurement. About there is fine. So I'm going to push it all the way backwards so I can get my quick adjustment plate and the lens support on the plastic instead of on the thread, because you might want to use the thread. I'm not sure. If you're not going to use, if you think that 18mm is good for you, you don't want to change the focal length, then you can just leave it as that. But we're going to try it out. So get your coin out or your screwdriver, whichever is better for you. Then just get that straight and then just tighten the screw. So I'm just going to tighten it right now, as tight as possible. And then we're going to put on a quick adjustment plate, which actually comes in two pieces. So when you take it out of the box, it doesn't come with the metal screws, but you need to screw it in yourself. There's a bigger hole at the top here by the 0 marking. And when you take it out of the box, it should look like this. It's actually out of the box, it looks like this. So what you gotta do is turn the knob till it's loose, and then you just press on the metal piece here, and that would unlock so that you can actually split the quick adjustment plate into two. Next up, mount with the lens support hole over here. Make sure that is facing the lens, so this way. And then we're just going to screw it on. And we can do a test fit on the lens support before we tighten the screws. So I'm just going to line it up here so you can see that it's slightly still touching the thread on the zoom. So I'm actually going to push this a little bit backwards, push the quick adjustment plate a little bit backwards like that, and see if it's able to hold. So just line it up like that, and then so we got it about this much. I'm gonna tighten it first so that it doesn't move out of place. Okay, so about here. So we just tighten it nice and tight, and you can see at the bottom of my plate I mounted the quick adjustment plate in a way whereby, like I said, this lens support, which I'm going to screw now, is not touching the thread on the lens itself. So if you need to get a zoom, you can do so without the lens support actually being in the way and hindering the movement, the smoothness of your zooming. So that's what it looks like. check it out. And the other thing is that you need to now take the second half of the quick adjustment plate and press this metal screw and just flip it back on, and it should secure. And once it's secure, it push in and turn the knob until it's tight, and then we're set to go. The other thing you need to get out of the box, the Canon 200D is using a mini USB port, so you will need to get out this cable, micro USB to mini USB. This is what the head looks like. This head goes into the Canon 200D itself. And the other end, of course, the 90-degree head, the micro USB will go into the Zhiyun Weebill-S. So right now we're gonna unlock the axis on the Weebill-S. So how you orientate yourself is this protruding part for the tripod will always be facing myself, so that it's easier for you to orientate. Starting from the top, unlock the first axis highlighted in red over here on the right hand side. So just unlock that, and then we go to the second screw, the second lock, which is on the left side of the gimbal, and then you just press it down, unlock that, and then the last axis will be at the bottom here. So unlock the three and then open it up in this direction. This roll axis should be facing your direction and the tilt axis should be on the left. Then you can lock the axis in place once more, so that it's easier for you to put on the mount. Okay, so I'm going to turn it to the side, so I'm going to mount it from side view. Make sure the two levers on this portion are unlocked. Firstly, this bottom one here needs to be to the right. And this one over here, make sure that it's down like that, so that it's easy to push in the camera. So just slide it on, press the metal knob over here, press it in, and you can slide on your camera. So next up, we're gonna do the tilt axis. So we're just gonna unlock the axis over here on the tilt, this axis over here, unlock that, and then we're gonna do from I'm gonna show you from the side view. Currently it's too front heavy and we already got it to the maximum, so we have to make an adjustment, meaning we have to shift this quick adjustment plate further up the lens. So I'm gonna make the adjustment again, just loosen that slightly, and then we're going to push it forward, and just before the thread, again we're going to try it out and see if this works. If not, then if we don't have a choice, then we would need to put the lens support on the thread of the lens, which may hinder the movements slightly. So that's good. So I got it before the thread here, so I can still shift the thread, I believe. Yeah, we can shift the thread if you want to. Balanced here. So this axis over here, just push it to the left all the way, and that should lock it in. Then next up, we're gonna do the left to right tilt. Left to right tilt, we gotta unlock this axis. Just push it down. Right now it's heavy to the right. So I'm going to shift the whole camera over to the left until it balances like something like this. And then once you're good and once you're not touching it and it's able to balance on its own, then you can tighten the lever below, flip the lever all the way to the right. And then we got it done. So right now we're going to do the up axis. So for the up axis, you can see this screw at the top right hand corner. Loosen that first, and then once you loosen that, you can actually shift this whole piece upwards, because right now it's front heavy. So we're going to shift it backwards until we get it to stand, and right now it's heavy to the right as well. So I'm going to make a quick adjustment on the left to right tilt. Just shift it a little bit more to the left. Just tighten it. I'm going to flip it up again, and that should be good. So tighten the lever, tighten the knob, at the top over here once you're done. And then for the pan axis below over here, the knob, you can loosen that, or you can just test it out. Currently my pan axis, as I'm gonna set it at number 2 just as a starting point. Most of the mid-range heavy cameras do work with number 2, the marker on the pan axis over here, on this axis where I'm pointing to. So most of the mid-heavy range cameras do work at number 2. So I'm going to do the pan axis, flip it to the right. If it stays on its own, then you're good to go. So the marking over here on the pan will be at number 2. And for the tilt axis, the marking would be at, the marking over here on the tilt axis below here is at about 1.4. So all good to go. Last of all, you're going to plug in the cable, the 90 degree angle head, the micro USB goes into this hole over here on the axis, and the mini USB portion, just plug it into the Canon 200D. Just open up this portion here. Oh no, it's not here. The Canon 200D's mini USB port is on the right hand side of the camera. So just open this up and then just plug this into your mini USB port. I know it's a bit hard to see because the axis is blocking. So just plug it in. Make sure all your axes are unlocked before you power on the gimbal and the camera. Okay, so we're good to go. Unlock all the axes. Cable is in. Now we're going to power on the gimbal. And then now we're going to power on the Canon 200D. And I'm going to switch it directly into the movie mode. Press button to prepare for shooting movie. And the ISO, I'm gonna just switch it all the way down to automatic. Oh my gosh, this kit lens autofocus is extremely noisy. Okay, so we got it set up. You can see at the bottom here, immediately, because I'm already at Canon camera settings on the Zhiyun Weebill-S, you can see that my aperture is showing and my shutter speed as well, because normally I would shoot 1080p 60, so I'm at 100 shutter speed right now, and ISO auto and white balance is at 0. So basically that's it. If you have connected your cable correctly, done the balancing, and your camera settings don't appear on the LCD at the bottom here, this is what you have to do. If yours is not connected, is not showing the aperture, just press the down button to go into the menu. And normally when I do new setups, because for me I do a lot of tutorials, so on a different camera setup, so I like to do the auto tuning first. So under the modo option, hit the right button once and just press right again to get it to auto tune. Okay, so that's done. And then now we're gonna go back, hit the left button to go back, and then press the down button again to enter the menu. Go into camera by rotating the wheel and press right, and you can see the different options available. If yours wasn't at Canon, go to navigate to Canon and then press the right button. And once you go back, you should see the aperture on your Zhiyun Weebill-S. Although the Canon 200D is not on the compatibility list of the Zhiyun Weebill-S, it does work very, very well like any other Canon camera out there. So yeah, basically this is the setup. Okay, so maybe one issue I foresee you might encounter on the Canon 200D is when you power on your gimbal and then you power on your Canon 200D. If you power on directly to video mode, you might get this screen over here, like a laptop showing on your screen. And if you press any of the buttons, you won't be able to get out of this screen no matter what button you press. So if you do encounter this, all you gotta do, switch it to on first instead of the video. Once you switch it to on, you will get this screen over here, and then you just press the record button, and then you will go into your display. And then once you get into the display, now you can switch to the video mode, and then you will be in your video mode display. Myself, you can see that I'm in video mode in manual settings, so that's how you get out if you encounter that laptop screen. So basically that's it. Alright, so I'm going to test out the vertigo mode right now by pressing the POV button twice. Okay, and then right now we're going to shift it. So that's it guys, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed this setup tutorial on the Canon 200D, and my next camera setup will be on the Nikon Z6, so stay tuned for that on the Zhiyun Weebill-S. So hit the subscribe button, the like button, and the notifications button, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.